When thinking about future cosplayer convention plans, one might begin to feel hopeless since so many events have been cancelled with no certainty of relief in the future. In these times, it's important to keep a sense of hope for something to work towards. So I've reflected on the past 7 years of attending cosplay accepted conventions to bring you a ranking among my favorites from the spring and summer months. Despite amazing Las Vegas Comic-Con's marketing use of one of my favorite colors, it starts to list out for its bare-bone provisions. It's a fairly tiny event, usually covering a weekend late summer in the past years, conducted on the South Point Hotel and Casino property. When entering the convention space, you'll notice it repurposes the very Western-themed area of the indoor rodeo grounds for vendors and exhibitors, all of which can be seen thoroughly within a leisurely paced 45 minutes. If you are planning any Western-themed cosplays to wear during the event, you'll benefit from backdrops that feature suitable decor, but bring a discreet camera that can adjust white balance, and maybe a pocket light with diffuser for the poor lighting. Level Up Expo has moved its venue since I had last attended and worked as a promotional videographer in prior years. Putting aside the fact that I had won Best Journeyman category of a cosplay contest and been featured in the program guide, I am hopeful that it won't be staying low on rankings for long, as its owners have shown ambition to elevate what it can be. With a focus on gaming initially, it has expanded to other forms of media which is more accommodating to cosplayers through offerings of vendors, photo backdrops. For many that enjoy meet and greets, the smaller scale can offer more chances to visit with special guests. Endearingly referred to as the Phoenix of cosplay events, Anime California is a late summer convention that revived after a stint of not being conducted. Much as most things in California, expenses can stack up, such as daily parking rates, pricey food options, and lack of public transportation for those in cosplay. However, the solo road trip I took from Las Vegas to Anaheim was not terrible. Even though it was fairly young of an event at the time, I was able to reunite with West Coast friends, which made it fun. The staff are open to new people looking to get their feet wet with hosting panels, much like I had done. But still get a packed room as the attendees came in full force despite the convention's lack of reputation. When it comes to photo opportunities, the nearby landscaping lends itself to some unique outdoor and adequate indoor options, but it's advised to be more subtle as the grounds may protest bigger scale photography setups or outright ask to stop. Held annually at the Anaheim Convention Center, WonderCon sets a stage for a large-scale event that can sometimes be overwhelming. The venue's 4 levels of convention space often leave some feeling congested, so cosplayers can often schedule the trip inside based on what they will be wearing. Many of whom, like myself, spend much of the time in front of the courtyard space among adjacent hotels just mingling or taking photos. A big carryover of WonderCon's attendees choose to attend in order to trial run cosplays for the San Diego Comic-Con, usually scheduled in the year, which I have yet to experience, so it's not in the rankings. The big plus of an event of that scale is the proximity of it to the famed Disneyland Resort and Amusement Park, so it's not too uncommon to have many choose to arrive early or stay after WonderCon in order to pay a visit to the nearby landmark. The sheer scale for myself works against it, as I found being in cosplay to be cumbersome, along with the lack of programming that I had slim chance of enjoying because of typical packed lines. Repetition can leave many things feeling stale, but MomoCon has not felt as such, given that I had gone upwards of 3 times already. The sense of familiarity lends itself to exercising future plans of attack based on what cosplays one may choose to bring. From the back area of gathering locations near the Mercedes-Benz area to the Georgia Aquarium, droves of people can be spotted from the event without having the confined feeling that can sometimes plague the otherwise popular event such as WonderCon. Onlookers don't seem to be as put off by people in costume, which is a plus for people looking to commute in from public transportation options, and as a reassurance, the police presence does give a sense of security should you need it. MomoCon follows a format similar to anime cons which allow for nightly programming. You can unwind to meet up again with friends you may have made during the daytime. As per the main day entertainment, dances or raves have been notable for higher tier music featured well into the early morning. If hotter months are your preference to thrive in, Austin, Texas's Rooster Teeth Expo is not a bad choice for a relatively easy point of entry from most anywhere in the country. Navigation and parking in downtown Austin would be possibly the first good sign of popularity, but a downside that can be frustrating when leaving or arriving at the venue midday, so lodging at the nearby hotel is advised and walking the commute. Even for a minor consumer of Rooster Teeth content, I found myself entertained as its predecessor, Screw Attack Gaming Convention, which I went in under the assumption of what to expect as I frequently enjoy Death Battle and had known Game Theory's MatPat had previously been a special guest. As with the name change, so too did its attendee focus in terms of cosplay, so I often found myself not recognizing the majority of characters, so my usual point of social ice-breaking was kind of handicapped. The vendors and exhibit halls were worth a good majority of your time, as gaming is still a big focus, so even without spending money, I found myself able to try everything from VR, vintage cabinet, indie, and carnival-like games conducted by patient and genuinely fun booth representatives. The RTX programming offered exclusive debuts and even a free screening at a walking distance theater nearby, along with adjacent host hotel's convention space. A highlight was actually the last day where I was able to obtain a number of free samples that the vendors were offloading, such as Mike's Hard Products given a 21 plus documented ID, and a crowd-conducted sing-along that reflected everyone's unified sense of fun. Often through experience comes better performance, and Otakon definitely shows its wisdom with how it conducts their annual convention. Putting aside my former association as a staff for media coverage, the heads of the organization put in the work to improve every year. In comparison to other events, they maximize the full weekend badge by providing a grand venue with so much breathing room, even with the most programming held under one roof of the new venue which it moved to, no longer in Baltimore. Attendance numbers peak among the top on the East Coast for good reasons, such as brand names holding an exhibitor booth for not only photo opportunities, but also some unique keepsakes, and even large-scale premieres. Not only do they showcase the most recent fandoms, they also celebrate anniversaries such as the 10-year Gurren Lagann panel. Nightlife is a big reason for which it sits among the top for those who tend to sleep in, as it is kind of a vacation, and so you get your pick for welcome mingling in the lobby with con friends, or spend it at the dance with quality variety of music mixing, not just rave music that gets boring after 20 minutes. Friends don't let friends aimlessly bob to subpar music. You can quote me on that. Before we crack the top 3, I would like to recognize the fallen cosplay conventions that are no longer with us, but nonetheless tried to bring smiles to its fans. Wizard World Las Vegas, Classic Gaming Expo, LA Cosplay Con, Sabacon, and Anime Vegas. You were my first and set the bar high. Among all of the conventions I have attended, Dragon Con would be among the Egyptian god card leveled compared to most. Dare I say, Slifer the Sky Dragon if cons were Yu-Gi-Oh cards. For general notoriety, almost anyone that you may meet that is into cosplay on the East Coast knows about Dragon Con, which can be a nice point of conversation when meeting new people. Held at the center of downtown Atlanta, Georgia, it seemingly takes over the city, felt midweek when exhibitors and companies are setting up for the nearly week-long event. The cost of attendance is steeply priced.
I said I was gonna bring it back to shades. Here we go. You care more about these shades than I do.
They are back on the
I am complete! Mission accomplished!
But much like Otakon, if purchased early the year prior, one can save a considerable amount for the full event badge. Going with a badge quickly becomes worth the cost for how much preparation is put into taking care and providing entertainment for attendees, which is recommended to take advantage of. Throughout my exploration, I was able to find convention-provided snacks, ways to earn souvenirs, and even some good karma by donating blood in exchange for a shirt. Witnessing the creativity and spectacle from cosplaying attendees lends itself to raise the bar for everyone to go all out on their respective dream cosplays, not limited by canon design, but also including mashups. Before even entering one of the associated host venues, the party atmosphere could be felt, which is one of my favorite pleasant memories despite how often I got separated from my friend group. When pitching the idea of going to a cosplay convention held in Ohio, it can be met with some skepticism of its quality, especially with how highly it's ranked here. It goes without saying, but more showing.
Oh my goodness.
Colossal Con is not the only convention conducted at the Kalahari Resort. However, its reputation for being the mecca for cosplaying from those one-off beach episodes is reason enough for many like myself who just plainly enjoy water parks. A genuine feature that the convention provides are the shuttles from their surrounding hotels to the main convention venue, which helps out many who don't want to lose their parking spot or those who fly in without a car. Boy, are their arms tired. The main hotel is highly sought after for extreme convenience and overall getting the full experience of the convention. What sets it apart are the nightlife choices, catering to the escape vacation feeling. The wave pool dance and overall extended indoor water park hours lends itself to full use of the slightly higher cost to stay at the Kalahari or obtaining a wristband, along with the indoor dance and open gaming. When thinking of a true summer vacation, Colossal Con sits unmatched at the second position. When thinking about the general convention experience, very few negatives cross the mind regarding fanime. How often do any massive event or distributor conduct so efficiently to where one may run to keep up with how fast processing goes? The amount of quality volunteers and staffing for fanime is worthy of acclaim, as I give it the designation for being the true 24-hour convention. Embrace your weeb and insomniac tendencies while attending FanimeCon. It stands in direct competition with Colossal Con, often held within a week of each other towards the end of May or beginning of June. However, back in 2015, I managed to kick off restarting this very channel by attending both conventions back to back. Fanime took what expectations that were established by the now late Anime Vegas and ran several home runs by having an incredible nightlife with 3 to 4 separate rooms for different music interests respectively. If you want to listen to modern pop music, there's a room. Into hip-hop music, another room. Into deep anime gaming-based music, another room. There are multiple screening rooms of which you can skip the feeling of being alone by checking out a new series or a movie with new friends that you made throughout the day or night. For those struggling to reunite with friends, there are side stages where you can play a game or enjoy a live performance without even stepping in line to watch. There are so many options for places to photograph at among the 4 corner hotels, the 3 nearby host hotels, and an electric train to take you where you may want to travel to, on top of the convention providing a shuttle. When it comes to a well thought out event, Fanime takes a cake for using most everything to its advantage, which is why it holds the #1 spot for spring or summer cosplay conventions. These convention rankings were based on personal experiences, but if you disagree or have a convention that you feel was missed in this ranking, let me know in the comments. When this pandemic is over, I would like to travel more, challenge others to go out, and maybe run into each other, which sounds like fun. If you enjoyed this content, share this or another video of mine with a friend, subscribe to my channel plus the bell tap to know when a new video gets released. I'm the Abandoned Hero. Explore your full potential and be the hero of your own story.